And you have another one. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, the great millstone that taught us this truth, and that's what teaching is truth. And as always, much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say shalom. I'm the brother Tazamah from the great millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another lesson, excuse me. All right, and Lord willing, today this lesson will be edifying. And I just want to do a quick update on the recent news that another NATO nation, Slovenia, has now stated that they are recognizing the state of Palestine with this whole Palestine-Israel scuffle that's been going on for the past couple months. And with us seeing, NATO, which NATO is an acronym which is short for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. When you have another nation that's within NATO recognizing the state of Palestine, and you have, America, all right, that's pretty much with the stance of Israel. All right, this is nothing more than just prophecy coming to pass before our eyes when it shows forth that the 10 toes will be partly strong and partly broken. All right, when you read that prophecy in Daniel, the second chapter. All right, this is Daniel chapter 2, and this lesson ain't gonna be long at all. But we find points like this in prophecy. We have to blow the trumpet. All right, and edify. All right, this is Daniel chapter 2, verse. Let me go down a little bit. I just want to get straight to the point. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 41. All right, now this is the interpretation of the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had when he seen a statue that had a head of gold, all right, a breastplate of silver, loins of brass, all right, legs of iron and feet of iron mixed with miry clay, which the head of gold represented the Neo-Babylonian Empire. All right, the breastplate of silver represented the Medo-Persian Empire. The loins of brass represented the Greco-Roman Empire. All right, and then you have the legs of iron, all right, which represented the Roman Empire and pretty much Pax Romana. All right, and then you have the feet, which represented. It says that the feet represents this Roman Empire revived again through NATO and the EU. All right, and we understand and know, according to prophecy, what comes after the feet is the stone, all right, that was carved out of a mountain without hands that pretty much destroyed the whole image. All right, so this is Daniel 2 and 41. It says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, it says the kingdom shall be divided. Okay, and we're seeing a nation divided. You already have the United States that's divided, but even within NATO and the EU, you have nations that are divided. When realistically, when it comes to NATO and the EU, they're pretty much supposed to be in one mind. They're supposed to be in one mind. Ooh, that's what's that scripture? Is that Revelation 17? It says one mind, or they would agree with 1 hour with the beast. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, Revelation chapter 17, verse 10. I'm gonna come back to Daniel, then I'm gonna read that article. It says, and there are 7 kings. All right, the 7 kings. You have the 7 heads. The 7 heads. When you read about this beast that will rise up out of the sea, which had 7 heads and 10 horns. The 7 heads represented the Greeks, the Romans, the Spanish, the French, Germania Major, Germania Minor, and the British. So it says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen. Okay, the 5 that are fallen, you had I'm not saying it in order, but you had Germania Major, Germania Minor. All right, you had the Greeks, Germania Major, Germania Minor, the Spanish, and the French. Those are the 5 that are fallen. It says, and one is, which is the Roman Empire. Okay, it says, and the other is not yet come. Okay, and the other that has not yet come It's talking about the British. It says, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was, all right, and the beast that was, right, and is not. So letting you know that this beast system would be revived again, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth. Okay, and that eighth is talking about America, and is of the seven. You see, and is of the seven, and goeth into perdition, which means destruction. Okay, because all this division that's between NATO and the EU and these nations that are divided is ultimately going to lead to the downfall of Babylon the Great, and that's what we're looking for. All right, it says, let's see, verse 12. It says, in the 10 kings which thou sawest, in the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet. And the 10 horns of the 10 kings are pretty much these vassal states reincarnated again today. And when you look at the expansion of the Roman Empire, and when you look at the ancient Roman Empire on a map, it's literally the same. It's literally the same, pretty much landmass in the sense of the EU in the different EU nations. It says, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind. You see that? These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So when you see these nations that are not in one mind with one another, and you got one nation within this league of allies stating, recognizing one state, but you have other nations recognizing another, that's clearly a division. Okay. Daniel 2:41, it says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of the strength of, it says, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. You see, so the strength of the iron is talking about what? The Roman Empire, predominantly the military. But you also have the, the judicial sector in a sense, the policies that they run, the policies that they rule by. It says, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with the miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Okay, and that's clearly what we're seeing right now with another nation. You have Spain, you have Ireland, you have Norway, and you have Slovenia. Okay, and I want to say those are the four. Yeah, Spain. Spain is a NATO nation. Okay, I want to say that Norway is a NATO nation and Ireland is not a NATO nation, but they're a part of the EU. Okay, but before we read that, let me actually get another precept real quick. This is Matthew, the 12th chapter. And we're seeing the downfall of this place, man. This is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua working on the minds of these different kings and these different leaders of these different countries, ultimately to fulfill his will. Okay, Matthew 12:25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. I just want to get this word divided real quick here. All right, that word divided in the Greek is merizo. Okay, and it says to be split into factions. You see, when you're split into factions, when you have like a faction, pretty much that's it's pretty much a group that could be opposed to another group. Let's just get the definition of factions. Political faction. You see, it says a small organized dissenting group within a larger one, especially in politics. And the small organized dissenting group, when you have dissension, is pretty much friction. You see, a small organized dissenting group within a larger one. In the small group that's pretty much being stirred up right now, you have Spain, Ireland, Norway, and now Slovenia. Okay, it says to be at variance with oneself. You see, to be at variance with oneself, to rebel, divided against oneself. NATO is divided against itself. The beast is divided against itself. So let's read the prophecy. All right, it says Matthew 12:25. Let's get it again. Or continue, I'd rather say. It says, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. You see that? So you got all this division that's taking place within, like I said, within America, all right, within these various different nations, as well as within, you know, the financial sector of this beast system, the military sector of this beast system. You know, there's all kinds of division taking place, and this is the Lord doing these things. Okay, the scripture says that the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He turneth it whithersoever he will, in Proverbs 21:1. Okay, so this is RT.com, and it says another NATO state recognizes Palestine. It says the move by Slovenia comes as the Israel Defense Forces continue its deadly attacks on the city of Rafah in Gaza. Okay, and you have a lot of people that are speaking out on this, man. That's why the scripture says in Jeremiah the 49th chapter, excuse me, it says Jeremiah the 49th chapter, what? That the least of the flock shall draw them out. Let's actually grab that real quick. And the least of the flock, okay, it's talking about the state of Israel. Okay, Jeremiah 49 and Jeremiah 49 and let's start at verse 19. It says, behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. And where is the Jordan located? The Jordan is located over there within Israel, man. Over there, you know, predominantly within the valley of the Levant region. Okay, it says, but I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? See, pretty much who's gonna stop the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai from playing out? The answer is nothing. Nothing's gonna stop the will of the Lord from playing out. Okay? What does the Lord want? His determination is to gather the nations over there in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat to ultimately plead for the cause of the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect. That's the stance that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is taking. Verse 20 says, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom. Now who is Edom? Esau is Edom. Okay, Genesis 36 chapter tells you that. Okay, and Esau, Edom is the so-called self-proclaimed white men, all right, and women. Okay, they're a nation of people that are ruling the earth as we know it today in complete wickedness. Okay, those are the groups of people that are over there claiming themselves to be the 48ers. Which they are. They were brought into the land in 48, you know, but they're claiming to be the chosen people, which they're not. So it says, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. And what does Teman represent? Okay, Teman represents the wise men of Esau, Edom. Okay, the ancient warlocks and witches, those that are controlling the world as we know it today, the financial sector, the media, okay, like I said, the financial sector, the media, the food, the so-called religious sector, the so-called education system, everything as we know today is ran by the global E. I'll just say that. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Okay, and that's why everybody's being drawn out. Everybody's emotions are being drawn out. People bugging out over this whole issue over there within the Levant region. You know, you got all these mass protests that are taking place. You know, you got these protests taking place at colleges. You got people just losing their mind, just going in people's cars and, you know, going in people's cars and just screaming free Palestine. And people are losing their minds, man. So people's emotions are being drawn out. Okay. As well as these nations are being drawn out too. You literally have nations' opinions, all right, and their mindsets and their thoughts about it being drawn out within NATO. That's a big news. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. You see that? Because ultimately with the least of the flock being drawn out, which the least of the flock is going to draw out America into World War III. All right, NATO and EU nations, all right, are going to turn on America and Israel, according to biblical prophecy when you read Revelation the 17th chapter. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to put this article in the description box because I know how they are with RT. You know what I'm saying? But this is it. This is on RT.com. You can take a look and read this article for yourself. But once again, all right, this is definitely a major alert according to prophecy. All right. So Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson and straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that's still teaching this truth. And as always, much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Until next time, Lord willing, I'll say shalom.